Listen, kids, you better listen up. And I say kids, I don't care if you're 9 or 90. There's a lot of big kids running around these days. Think they're grown up just because they've got a few years on them. Think they're grown up because maybe they've got a few muscles here and there. Think they're grown up because they can kind of do as they please. Boy, you're being deceived. You better listen to this, and I'd ask you to share it with your friends if you have any that's into any of this junk. Some of you think it's cool to be messing and playing around with this satanic stuff. I want to tell you something. I know who God is. God knows who I am. I'll tell you something else. I know who Satan is, and he knows who I am. You may say, well, I've done as I please. God hadn't stopped me, so I do as I please. You want to follow after this satanic stuff. Well, let me tell you. Satan knew I was going to put this video up, but he hadn't stopped me. Because he can't. He doesn't have that power. Oh, he can try. He can try. But the only power he's got is what little bit that God gave to him and lets him have for a little while. But it'll be taken away eventually. And you're going to be left with nothing if that's what you're following after. Like I say, I don't care how old you are, whether you're grown up, youth, whatever, following after some of this junk. You say, I'll do as I please. No, you don't. You've got two people in this universe that is more powerful than anyone else, any man, any person. And one is Satan, but the other was God. And God's going to win out in the end because he's only allowing Satan to have that little bit of power he's got for the time being. It'll be taken from him. And so you're serving one or the other. If you're doing what you please and just going opposite the way God says to go, then you're following Satan. He's got you around the throat. He's got like you having a ring in your nose pulling you around like a bull. And you just follow along. Not knowing, not even knowing. You thinking you're doing, well, I just do as I please. You're doing exactly what he is telling you to do. He's the one that put in your mind to reject God, turn from him. Well, listen to a few verses. Just a minute. I'm not going to take long with this. I'm going to do a few songs. You need to listen to those too. But in Luke chapter 11, verse 24, talking about unclean spirits, demonic spirits. It says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a person, it passes through waterless places, seeking rest, because they don't have any. And finding none, it says, I will return to my house. If you've ever had one and entertained one of these demonic spirits, then you're the house he's talking about. I'll return to my house from which I came. And when it comes, it finds the house swept and put in order. Yeah, person clean their life up a little bit. They get rid of the demons, sweep the house up, clean it up. But they don't put a guard there. And when it comes, it finds the house swept and put in order. Then it goes and brings 7 other spirits more evil than itself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that person is worse than the first. The only way you can prevent that from happening again is to ask Jesus Christ into your heart. He'll stand guard at that door. They'll not come in then. They'll have no entry. No entry. But that's the only thing that'll prevent them from coming back and tormenting you. Oh, you think you're having fun right now? Well, he'll give you that to get you pulled in. And then it start going downhill. It's no good after that. Gadarene demoniac in Mark chapter 5. Jesus landed on the shores of that place, and this demoniac came out and met Jesus. Oh yeah, he knew Jesus was coming. He knew who Jesus was. And Jesus said, let me just read here. He said, what have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I adjure you by God, do not torment me. For he was saying to him, come out of the man. In other words, Jesus was saying, come out of the man, you unclean spirit. And so then the man wants to know, well, what do I have to do with you? He knew who Jesus was. Well, Satan knows who God is. He knows who Jesus is. You say, well, I don't believe in God. Well, Satan does. Because he's there with him at one time. Created by him. The man said this man immediately there met him out of the tombs, a man with an unclean spirit. And no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain, for he had often been bound with shackles and chains, but he wrenched the chains apart and he broke the shackles in pieces, always crying out and cutting himself with stones. This demoniac was a cutter. Yeah. You think you're just cutting yourself for this reason or that reason. I don't understand all that. But I understand what this says. A demoniac was a cutter. Because he wants to destroy your body. He don't mind doing damage to it. It's made in the image of God. You're made in the image of God. And you can reject him if you want to. But what happened when Jesus cast this man? I said, first we want to know what his name was. He said his name was Legion. Because it was more than one. There's many of them. I don't say, I can't guarantee this, may have been as many as 2,000. Because there was a herd of swine, pigs, hogs, pooey, in that area. And they begged to be cast out into them. I think as scripture said, there's 2,000 of them, and they run off a cliff into the sea. That's what Satan wants to do to you. You say, oh, I'm on my way to hell, and, we'll be down there having a party. No, you won't. No, you won't. There's not going to be a party in hell. That's a lie of Satan. He knows it. He knows it. I think Charlie Daniels pretty good. Listen up. You think you're on top of things. You think you got things under control. You think you can do what you want to. Satan is your enemy, the master of evil power. He runs around like a hungry lion, seeking whom he might devour. He'll tell you it's all right to sin, just go along for the ride. And when you get depressed, he'll say the answer is suicide. This is where he wants to take you. Don't you listen to him. He'll lead you down to ruin. He knows all your weakness, your sinful desires. He knows God's clock is running. He knows his time is coming. When he'll be cast down into the everlasting fire. Yes, God created a place of torments. All the evil would share. It's meant for Satan and his angels. You're not supposed to be there. So if you're following the devil, you better heed this message well. That path you're traveling down, just a one-way street to hell. He's the father of confusion. His way is just illusion. He'll find you in places, cause your head to swirl. Think about the way you're living. You're among the unforgiven. What you gonna do when it comes down to the end of the world? It's coming. It's gonna happen. happen by and by. Where will you be standing, on his left or right? Bound for eternal joy or eternal night. Yeah, it's going to be total darkness down there. Not going to be enough light for a party. Nobody see anybody else. You know God's door is standing open. Won't you come on in? Just say, Jesus Christ, I need you. Please forgive me of my sin. And he'll give you joy, peace of mind, because he loves you so much. Those that he holds in his hands, the devil cannot touch. Tell another sinner, I just became a winner. Believe with your heart and confess it with your tongue. You don't have to worry. God is the judge and jury. You escaped the devil and an awful time to come. It's coming. It's gonna happen by and by. It's gonna happen in the twinkling of an eye. Where will you be standing, on his left or right? Bound for eternal joy or eternal night. Talking about the end of the world. Listen up. Listen to this. Satan, this is for you. That's it. Satan knows who I am. He's not going to stop me. Why? Not because of me. No, I don't say this in the same sense that Peter said it. I understand my weakness. I also understand God says that we're made strong in his weakness. Or in our weakness, excuse me. And Satan can't touch it. Oh, he'll try. Oh, this is for you, my old boy. Are you listening, devil? I've had enough. I ain't going for that evil stuff. If you don't stop that slewfoot strut, gonna polish my boots and stand you up. All of hell better hear and understand. Me and Jesus ain't afraid of no boogeyman. If you think you're gonna give one up, you're all out of your gambling luck. You still smell like stinking pride. I ain't going for your lying jive. All of hell better hear and understand. Me and Jesus ain't afraid of no boogeyman. I don't care what you call yourself, Satan, Pollyanna. What does Slewfoot? That's this song. Some of the other name. Beelzebub. Look here, devil, I'm getting tough. Mess with me and you're gonna get cut. I got a razor with two-edged sword, otherwise known as the edge of the Lord. All of hell better hear and understand. Me and Jesus ain't afraid of no boogeyman. All of hell better hear and understand. Me and Jesus ain't afraid of no boogeyman. I ain't scared of you, Satan. I got my armor on, so. Listen up. I got a couple more. I'll be done. I don't need no fortune teller, reading me no cards. I don't need no boiling cauldron burning in my backyard. And I don't need no crystal ball looking out there to see. Well, I've got to save the whole wide world living inside of me. I've got power overflowing, coming from the Master's hand. And I know the one and only real miracle man. I don't need no mojo working on me, no juju hands. And I don't need no voodoo doll, don't need no evil man. And I don't need no magic mulling on me, no sorcerer's key. And I've got the Savior of the whole wide world living inside of me. I've got power overflowing, coming from the Master's hand. I know the one and only real miracle man. Well, I don't need no fortune teller reading me no cards. And I don't need no boiling cauldron burning in my backyard. I've got power overflowing, come from the Master's hand. And I know the one and only real miracle man. Real miracle man. Real miracle man. Real miracle man. Now, I know some of you kind of holier than thou people out there saying, oh, that Satan's not going to waste time with you. Say what you want. I know he's coming. I know you're coming, Satan. And if you don't, it'll be one of you big demons. But like I said before, go ahead and give me your best shot. I'm going on with God. Because I'm on the winning side. Oh, I know you'll come after me after this. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. One of these mornings, without a warning, will be a parting of the skies. People standing, disbelief. Chosen saints take to the skies. Let me go up a little bit with this one. Make sure you get the message, Satan. One of these mornings, without a warning, will be a parting of the skies. People standing, disbelief, while chosen saints take to the sky. Gonna be a parting before you know it. God not a man, he cannot lie. There is the Savior who sits beside him. He's still waiting for that time. I'm gonna be ready for his coming. Can't wait to ride by his side. I see that white horse in the distance. I see the harvest in his eyes. I hadn't been on horseback in a long time. I'm about ready to take a ride one of these days. Inner man, are you resting? That evil heart, it's got a heart that's stone inside. There was a time, the clouds of darkness nestled there in my mind. Strange thing is, in my weakness, it's my new love made me so strong. Will you tell him you are sorry? He's waiting now for you to come. I'm gonna be ready for his coming. Can't wait to ride by his side. I see that white horse in the distance. I see the harvest in his eyes. The harvest is coming. Gonna gather up the good crops, and he's gonna cast the rest into the fire. People ask me why I'm waiting. There's nothing up there but in the sky. But they can't hear the saints are praying. Have mercy, have mercy. I'm gonna be ready for his coming. Can't wait to ride by his side. I see that white horse in the distance. I see the harvest in his eyes. I see that white horse in the distance. I see that harvest in his eyes. Once again, I'll tell you, you may think you do what you want to do. You may think God hadn't stopped me so far, so he's not going to stop me. You know the only reason you're still going? The only one reason. Because God's having mercy on you. Because he still loves you. He's still waiting on you to come back. He's got more patience than I've got and many others, most of us do. God does have patience. He loves you enough that he's waiting on you. Sometimes waiting on you to come to the end of yourself and come back to him. So, give it some thought. Where you're going. Like I say, I don't care if you're 9, I don't care if you're 90. Jesus Christ is still waiting on you to come to him and accept that love that he has for you. And the way you're going, I said in these songs, it's going to end nothing but destruction. So you have fun right now. The Bible talks about even Moses when he was in Pharaoh's palace. Said, he enjoyed the pleasures of sin for a season. And that's all it is, just for a season. It comes to an end. And then you're left with nothing. With Jesus Christ, you've got a future. So call on him today. Ask him into your heart and ask forgiveness. Follow him. Dale Little here with Rescue America Ministries.